Northwestern is currently on an 8-2 run in the past 3 minutes or so. We've had 5 lead changes. Nebraska's largest lead came about 5 minutes into the game. There was a 5-point lead, and Northwestern most recently has been able to take back a bit of that momentum. Right now, though, Nebraska has a chance to make it a 6th lead change as Cale Jacobson kicks it back out to Frager. Sanford has it, driving inside. There's nothing there. He finds Jacobson at the top of the key. Cale Jacobson driving in. He's on the block, guarded by Sheravino, and Sheravino, an incredible job defensively. No foul there. That was all ball on that one. Ends up hitting the rim as well. Sheravino finds Jaden Reed on the offensive side of the court. Max Green going to throw up a 3. In and out. That one almost went in. Sam Hoiberg has it going the other way. A nice crossover move leads to Jacobson with it in the corner. Buchtengel has it, top of the key. Sanford open for 3. Shoots it, wraps it in. If he's open behind the arc, Colton, he's absolutely shooting it. He's got the most points per game out of anybody on this Husker squad, and a lot of those points come from the 3 ball.
And he's the hot hand right now. Knocked down 7 threes in the win versus Oregon in their last game, and he gets his first pretty early on here today. Still in the first half of the opening half. Gives the Huskers the lead right back.
Jaden Reed pulls up for a mid-range jumper. Bounces in and out. Nick Martinelli fighting for the rebound, surrounded by 4 Nebraska defenders. Just an incredible job by Martinelli there. He will head to the line for the first time tonight.
We talk about Nick Martinelli, the scorer, but he's also been a very valuable rebounder for this Wildcats team. About 7 a game, and he does a good job on the boards just getting Northwestern another opportunity, and he gets to the line.
Yeah, we just mentioned that Price Sanford leads Nebraska for points per game. But on the other hand, Nick Martinelli leads Northwestern for that stat category. He also, like you just mentioned, Colton, he does a great job down low in the block, getting some rebounds. He's got 6.6 right now per game. And I'm sure after this one that'll go up, as we've got a whole lot of offense generating from these 2 teams. Nebraska back with the ball. Martinelli makes both free throws. Score 17-16. Sanford for 3 again. That one not going to go. Almost an offensive rebound by Jacobson, but Northwestern comes down with it. Jaden Reed loses the ball. That's a turnover again. Frager finds Hoiberg down low on the fast break. Shot doesn't even hit the glass, just ends up hitting the bottom of it. Play stopped immediately. A nice effort there by Hoiberg, though, to try to get at least some sort of shot up, and he will now head to the line.
Yeah, Hoiberg generating that turnover by just poking the ball away from Reed. That's something we've seen all year from the Huskers. Their guard play, especially defensively, has been a huge thing for them, and Hoiberg able to generate the turnover and then get to the line on the other end.
He makes the first one. The fans here going crazy because if the Huskers miss 8 free throws tonight, they get free Chick-fil-A. So I don't think the Huskers have helped them out there so far tonight, but you know what? There's a lot of basketball left. I won't get ahead of myself there as far as that little challenge goes for free chicken. Northwestern picks it up. Hoiberg sank that second one as well. The game now 19-16. Nebraska back again with a 3-point lead. Jaden Reed on the far side wing, trying to facilitate something, but Burke just doing a great job there. Martinelli cross-court pass to Sheravino. Sheravino trying to find Tyler Kropp there, but he is fouled when he tries to pass it. That's Buchtengel's first personal foul. So nobody in foul trouble just yet. We haven't had, too many whistles, too many stops here, Colton, but that is another stop and play. Northwestern with the inbound. It's Jaden Reed trying to get it in. He eventually does. In the corner is Page. Martinelli down low, trying to get it in. There's a lid on the rim, but eventually he takes that lid right off. 3 shots leads to 2 points for Nick Martinelli, and this game is back to a 1-point game. Caden Lacker, senior forward with a lot of experience. That one zips by to Scott's left. This power play now over. Both teams have done a great job of killing the other team's 1-man advantage. We're back to full strength for both teams. Here's Calderon. You got to watch out for him. Got the most points on the team. Goes around the net, tries to get one in. Somebody threw their hands up. But no, that goal not going to go in. A one-on-one situation. Rips one off, he scores! Number 77, Jacob Paulson, the freshman forward, gets it in. A great job.
Yeah, on that one, Rothenberger was just skating down the ice for the Huskers, and the puck just bounces right in front of him. And he's like, oh, look at this, passing it off to his buddy there, and he gets a one-on-one opportunity and makes it count. Huskers lead 2-0 already.
Paulson, if you remember, he was the one that was in the penalty box just a few short moments ago, but now a 0-to-hero story for him in the first period.
Fresh legs.
And it goes from giving Creighton an advantage to now getting the most dangerous lead you can have in this sport. A 2-0 lead for the Huskers. This is not something you usually see from this team, for them to go up early. When you think back to last weekend, the first game of the two-game series, Creighton quickly took a 3-0 advantage over the Huskers. Things look to be going the exact opposite way, though. Here's Josh Lazari. He zips it around. Nebraska now. They've got it in Creighton's zone behind the net. Seibel able to get rid of it. Oh, big check, though. That's Nebraska's number 21, Steven Adamski. That one caught in the hand by Coe. Coe scored 6 seconds into this game. Still looking on fire, though. Hasn't wasted a split second of energy. Puck in front of the blue line, no longer. Coe gets it out of the neutral zone, and 5 new Huskers will come onto the ice. 1 new Blue Jay will as well. Here's Ethan Cooper. Gets it airborne, but Del Sante's right on top of it for Nebraska. Fighting for it on the far side board. Coming back over. They'll get it right in front of Scott. Getting it out of their zone. A great pass by Jake Cavedo. And now we're back where we've been for most of this game. Here comes the other side, still fighting behind it. Creighton doing a nice job. We've got a 3-on-2 situation. Rothenberger gets back on defense, though. They'll back off. That was Caden Lacker. Puck goes behind the blue line. They're going to have to get out of there and reset. That gives Nebraska an opportunity to bring some fresh feet onto the ice for defense. Cavedo gets it down to Rothenberger. Rothenberger takes a huge hit, delivered by Tommy Sieve. Rothenberger still has not gotten up. The boys in the black and white stripes are going to blow this one off. Might have got the wind blown out of him.
Yeah, lost his stick after that hit, too. Big hit from Sieve, the defenseman from Edina.
And Ethan, if anything, though, I think that shows, if you weren't able to catch up on what happened last weekend, it was a whole lot of that. Whole lot of big hits, whole lot of penalties, whole lot of goals. And they have not. They picked up exactly where they left things off last Saturday up in Omaha.
Yeah, Tommy Sieve wearing the green helmet, green gloves. He's going to go to the box. Same helmet and gloves that he wore in high school for the Edina Hornets.
And Ethan, why don't you touch up on that? I know you're from Minnesota, you know a thing or two about it, but a handful of players on Creighton's roster are from Edina. They're from that city, from that area, and then as well, if they're not from Edina, they're from somewhere in Minnesota. I know everybody knows Minnesota's a huge, kind of hockey powerhouse, especially for younger guys, though.
Yeah, 7 players on this Creighton team from Edina. A team that's won a lot of hockey state championships up in Minnesota, and they got more players from Edina than from outside Minnesota on this Creighton team, really bringing in a lot of talent from the state of hockey.
Not sure exactly what their recruiting process is like, but they've been able to pick up a lot of great players. It has led them to have a 7-3-1 record right now. Things looking a lot brighter than Nebraska, who's 2-10 on a 10-game losing streak. They're trying to end that right now. They started off things great tonight. Shanahan gets it in, and it gets in the net yet again. Nebraska pulls out to a 3-0 lead, not even halfway through the first period. Jordy Fromm has 8 strikeouts today. 6 of them came in the first 2 innings. Berlage knocks one out right, dead set, bullseye, center field. McMillan is there to make the grab, though.
Yeah, that's about as easy of a line drive to catch for a center fielder as it gets. McMillan probably made 1 half step backwards, but was able to catch it right at her. But Tough break for South Dakota State because that was a well-hit ball.
Yeah, it wasn't that high either. She just had to kind of drop back 1 or 2 steps, make the grab. That takes us to our first out of the inning here. The next count here for Abby Gentry comes off first 0-1 as she takes a look at the first pitch that comes across the plate. Gentry batting just under 300 here, folks. Jordy Fromm doing anything she can to stop that from getting over. Foul ball ripped off down the right field line. Bit of a slicer there as Fromm will take a moment. 0-2 count, so it helps her out anyway. Gentry was one of the 6 batters that were struck out in the first 2 innings by Fromm. As the next pitch comes in, a chopper from third base to first. Bland to Bacon, a great play made there. We're up to 2 outs. The Huskers trying to go 3 up, 3 down.
Yeah, Sammy Bland, who has had a little bit of a rough night. Obviously, she took that 1 ground ball, 1 hopper off her chest, but right there is about as clean cut as it gets, fielding it at third and making a clean throw over to first.
And Jack, if you remember, Fromm neared the 30 mark for her pitch count in the second inning. Now it's the top of the 4th, and she's got 58 after that one comes in for Bolin, and now has a 1-0 count.
Yeah, it almost sounds weird to say, but since Jordy's kind of stopped striking some of these girls out, it's gotten a little bit easier for her because she's getting hits into play and batted balls to help her get outs, and that takes a lot less strain on her and a lot less pitches.
Bolin gets a ball on the first pitch. The second one, though, she takes a swing at it and misses. An even count, 1-1 here with 2 outs in the top of the 4th. The Jackrabbits doing anything they can to get their offense going. They were able to do that earlier on in the first game. Not the case here, though, in the second. That one right down the middle for Fromm, a 1-2 count. And we started off 1-0.
Going back to what you were saying, Matthew, if you go back to the beginning of the game, we saw Jordy in a lot of full counts. Since then, she's gotten ahead of the count way more often, and that's really helped her out.
She's been known to do that. One of the best players in the country both ways. That one down the middle for Bolin on the very next pitch, and she gets yet another strikeout here in the second game of the doubleheader. Coming up, we've got the bottom of the 4th where the Huskers will try to extend a 7-0 lead. Got to watch out for Jordy Fromm here. She's having a great game.